You're listening to a podcast for the deep thinker, seeker of growth and spiritual transformation, where intellect meets intuition.
So a major issue in our society today now is delay and dealing with delay and the pressures and desperation that comes with that. And I thought it'd be really interesting to talk about that and how you kind of overcome that. For me, I think very early on, I realized that delay is an illusion to a degree, because it's almost like, who are you competing with? Who are you comparing with? You know, if you were the only person, on the planet, there would be no such thing as delay, because who would you be comparing against? So I feel like much of delay is the illusion that's been pushed by society. And I think it's also the illusion that actually we're all supposed to be doing the same things. Everyone has their own unique, different path in life. And I think sometimes that's missed.
I think that's very true. But I also think that it can be true that the right thing isn't happening at the right time. And I think if we look at, let's say, the development of a young child, at certain milestones, they are expected to exhibit certain behaviors, like 3 months versus 6 versus 12 versus 18. And those are very different and very obvious milestones that we see in child development in early life. And if we're not seeing those things, then we're going to be concerned. It's a cause for concern if like certain things are not happening. And because it's so obvious in early stages of development, alarm bells start ringing and people start trying to investigate like what has gone wrong or what's happening. And so I think that in as much as everyone's life timeline is different, I think that there are some types of delay that can potentially, justify like deeper investigation or like trying to, get help.
Yeah, definitely. There's some delays that require investigation, but sometimes the investigation doesn't change the situation. You know, if a child is delayed in growing up or speaking or developing, you can put in a speech therapist, you can do those interventions, but it doesn't necessarily change the delay. They still will be delayed. Maybe not as delayed, but there's still a delay there, and it's all about dealing with that delay. And I think the way I would say I would deal with delay is just understanding that actually it's not real, because that particular child or individual, that's just their path. So I kind of see it now as everyone has their individual path and destiny, and whether that delays early on in life, middle in life, end of life, it doesn't really matter. Everyone has this particular journey to go through, and all you can do is do the best you can do in that time. And if you've done your best and still things are not going as fast as you would like, then you got to tell yourself that, okay, this is my path, this is fate, and you got to have peace, because pulling your hair out, stressing, anxiety is not going to make it any faster.
So it's not delay, it's destiny.
Exactly. That's kind of my conclusion and how I kind of deal with things, because people are always trying to put pressure on you. They're like, why haven't you done this? You need to do this. Da, 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 da. Don't you know? And I'm just like, look, everyone has their own destiny. Everyone has their own life, their own path. You will always find someone doing something at a different time,
So why is it so hard to sit in that and to just be at peace?
It's hard because people are comparing, like I said earlier. It's hard because you're looking at other people and you're thinking, why can't I be like that? Or why is it happening for them? But if you just focus on yourself and understand that you have your own unique path, I think that reduces the pressure to a degree. And try not to surround yourself with people that make you feel that way. And then also, I really believe that time and chance come to each person. I think everyone has a time and a chance and an opportunity in life, but when that comes is up to the creator. It's not always up to us. So I think we need to understand that and be patient to know that my time will come. My time will come. And when it comes, it'll be right, and I'll be happy, and I'll be at peace, or at least, even if it's challenging, I'll have the tools to be able to deal with it without completely causing problems or struggling unnecessarily, I will have the tools to be able to hold on to it.
I really like the way that you've articulated that. That Amazon parcel that you're waiting for is not delayed. It's destiny.
Well, I don't know. Amazon are pretty good. I've got nothing to say about Amazon. If you're on Prime membership, you'll get your parcel.
That's the thing to be on.
But yeah, there's normal delays. A normal delay, you know, someone's late. You know, something you're expecting didn't come. But I'm talking about the delays that are like perpetuating over a long period of time. You know, years. It might be people have been waiting decades, years, or they're years behind. Those are the times where you know you've done absolutely everything, and then you got to be like, well, it's destiny.
And I think the most important thing as well, when you're in a season of delay, or when you're in a season which feels like you're experiencing delay, or you know, some people will call it a season of wilderness or whatever it might be, where you're not quite where you want to be, you've not quite achieved the goals that you thought you would have by this time. I think it's so important not to allow people to gaslight you, because people will tell you the worst things in that time.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in, you know, like quiet confidence and you know, moving in silence and just allowing people to almost think what they will, knowing and having a resolve within yourself that where I'm going, like, you're not on that path. It's unique, it's different, and it's important to me to get there.
Exactly.
And,
you know, my challenges aren't your challenges.
Yeah.
I might have to jump through 100 hoops before I get there. You might only have to jump through 10. You know, you can't compare. It's really is the thief of joy. And what I will say is also, as a perfectionist, you need to let go of perfection. You know, you need to let go of perfection. I'm going to have this and it's going to happen perfectly at this perfect time. You need to let go of perfection if you want to have peace and deal with delays, because otherwise you'll be so frustrated. So let go of that perfect picture in your head and just be like, you know what? Let God's will be done.
Yeah. And when you come
know?
from a family of perfectionists, that can be so hard, because I feel like we come from a family of people who want to do things.
Yeah, we want to do
Perfect.
things perfectly.
Yeah.
But you got to just realize that you're not in control of your life to a degree. You know, you're not in control of the world. You're not in control of everything or everyone. So the best you can do is accept that, okay, this is the path I've got to walk for now. Let me do so in a positive way. Let me grow. Let me have fun. Let me enjoy myself. Let me find joy in this period of time, as opposed to finding it frustrating, you know, and being a time of bitterness and anger. You don't want that to engulf you, but you want it to be a time where you develop and transform and really start to see how amazing you are.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're so happy you made it this far, but don't stop there. Subscribe to our channel so you can see episodes as soon as they drop. Thank you.